My name's Nicholas Underwood. This is Decisive Motion. Our journey so far has been a bit of a confusing one. It's been a bit of self-discovery, and also after finding out what I want to do, a struggle just to figure out how to put it together, because I don't really have a mentor or anyone that's done it before to guide me, so I'm just having to guide myself. Power Move was really created out of a drive to have a good coaching environment. I felt I had a reasonable coaching environment when I was training and when I was an athlete, and after getting older and falling off the track in terms of motivation and discipline, in terms of sports and athletics and whatever have it, I thought to myself, I need to get to a point where I can be more of a self-sustaining athlete and I can function on my own. So I thought the only way for me to learn how to do that is to become a coach and instill that discipline into myself. And that's what it was kind of created out of. And I realized you can't just have the training element of it, you have to have the nutrition and also the right mindset. So really and truthfully, it should be Power Move, fitness and nutrition plus mind, but that's too much to put into one sentence. The aims of Power Move, looking at it from an athlete's perspective, is to help them focus on themselves more, their sport, okay, and find out what works for them as an athlete as opposed to what works for them as just a football player or as just a runner. You have to figure out what works for you as a person to function 100%. If you don't have a good foundation, may it be home life, good nutrition, fitness background, or just the mental stability, okay, to deal with your sport and the outside demands that sport requires and everyday life requires, there's going to be a lack in your training, there's going to be a lack in your life because you're only doing everything at 25% and you're not giving everything 100. And that's really what the aim is, to make proactive athletes and to help people that aren't necessarily in sports find their way forward, achieve their fitness goals, and possibly then think about sports being their next step outside of their comfort zone. Power Move UK, we provide sports coaching, consultancy, fitness and nutrition advice. Outside of that, we offer team fitness sessions, also biomechanics studies. Basically, we aim to break down the person and figure out what training suits them best. Outside of that, for the general public, we offer fitness sessions and just generally a way to show you how to train like an athlete and discipline your mind. With my current training, I only train about two times a week, really and truthfully. I might go for a jog every now and again, and that might push the session over into 3 times a week, but it's about 2 times a week. I'm a person from the internet revolution and era. I use the internet as one of my main sources of keeping up to date. I try and use as much credible sources as possible, so not merely magazines that might have articles and information, but actual scientific textbooks with knowledge that has been credified and backed up, because a lot of the fitness industry is pushed by the media and what people take as fad training or fad diets. So I try to avoid that kind of knowledge, and my primary source is scientific books, texts and technical information. If it was just a client that wanted to improve their fitness, the first thing first would have a little consultation with them and find out what their fitness goals are, find out what they eat on a day-to-day basis and how that might change depending on mood, depending on environment and their social situation, depending on what friends are around. After that, we'll probably get them doing some exercises, finding out what things they feel within their comfort zone and what's not. And then after that, we'll go into a session, and if there's something where they want to lose weight in terms of weight loss, we'll meet those goals. So if you're maybe a bigger person but you're comfortable with running and trying to sprint like some of my American football players are, then we're going to start there as one of your strong points because you feel comfortable doing that, and then we'll progress further into your weak points, which might be something else as jumping or just generally doing sit-ups or strength exercises. So it's about tailoring it to a person, so no session is the same for each and every one. So the most important thing in terms of nutrition and training in general is having your mind in the right place, because most times for people breaking their nutritional habits, okay, it isn't a matter of I can't eat properly, it's that I can't get out of the habit of eating bad. So it's about being able to break people's habits, and once that's done, then the nutrition underpins everything else. So you are what you eat. There are phrase is a bit of a cliche, but it's one of the most truthful things that anyone can say about food. Try and remind them of their goals, and hopefully I can instill in them from the start, or if they already have it, that their goal should be in the forefront of their mind. You don't just say you want to do this and expect that it's going to be done. You have to understand that there's hard work that goes behind it, and that motivation, that they have to kind of find that for themselves. If the reason you're doing something is just for the sake of it, then you're never really going to complete it to 100% or complete it to the manner in which that you should have. So it's about finding your reason for that. Okay, once that's found, then it's my job to try and harness that and help you focus it into something else. So it's not helping you get motivation, because I got to try and get my own motivation for myself. There's no one that does that for me. I have people around me that help me harness my motivation and remind me that I have drive and this is just a bad day, and you just kind of have to push on past it. It goes on. I believe that depending on the type of clients you have to be as honest as possible with them from the get-go, and not necessarily blunt, but there's times that you have to be honestly and brutal and blunt. Okay, if you're being lazy, you're being lazy. If you're not working hard, you're not working hard. But if you are doing something very well, okay, and you have made a lot of improvement, okay, I will tell you and make that as clear as possible. Okay, I know some instructors might not feel the same way. They might reassure clients but not necessarily tell them when they're really and extremely doing good. But I believe you have to have both ends of it and be as honest as possible. You don't want any miscommunication. People have enough miscommunications in their everyday life. This is something that they want to achieve for themselves, and they want it to run as smoothly as possible. So the job as an instructor is to really put as much of yourself into it as possible, once it doesn't complicate or interfere with their situation. So what happens to me in my outside life, I leave behind, and hopefully some of the clients leave that behind, unless that's the thing that motivates them to proceed. And you have to have a good rapport with a person in order to get that bit of information in the first place. What drives them? People don't give that up unless you give something up to them. And what I give is I care. That's the reason I'm doing what I do, is because I care. My strengths as a coach, I would say, is my ability to understand, to put myself in that person's position. I suppose empathy, to realize sometimes your level of fitness, you haven't realized it's got to a bad level, or what you're unhappy about isn't necessarily your fault. But equally, I can understand when it is your fault and when you're feeling a bit guilty about that. So I suppose one of my strengths is empathy, and being helped people deal with that challenge and understanding that the problem is either them not being able to fix it or causing it in the first place. So we have to work past that, because that's what we're here for, self-improvement. My plans for the future wouldn't be only outside of getting Power Move as big as possible in terms of a nutritional fitness brand and health brand. It's also getting it as big as possible in the realm of sports and sports performance. So I want to be able to take on more clients, help more clients get to America or play their sports professionally, or get to another college and get a scholarship. I want to help people achieve their goals. I want people to see Power Move as family. So, and that being from the food that you eat in the morning to the supplements that you take. And even if you're not interested in taking our products, okay, I hope that you're interested in the information that we have to offer, because the information is free. There's no secrets. The next year or so, Power Move nutritional food and food supplements. So dried fruits, nuts, protein powders, creatine supplements, health and energy drinks. Outside of that, possibly on our website, we'll have other brands to sell. Also some cosmetic stuff for outside. For you people that train in the gym and leave the gym and don't wash your armpit, we got the soap for you lot. Okay, some serious, nice, good smelling soap. Outside of that, towels to keep fresh as well. And furthermore, just finding new athletes and being able to go to professional athletes and provide credible service that they can deem helpful, not in just their lives, but their everyday lives. You can see some of our sessions that we've done and contact us on Facebook through Power Move UK. 3 words, Power Move UK. You can see the examples of our hill run sessions, our nutritional advice, and you can see what will be coming soon as well. So feel free, take a look. We'll be on there will be links to our YouTube, and also we have an affiliated company in South London. They're called Fitness Trend. They have a couple of the sessions and a couple articles that they wrote up about our sessions on there as well. They're a good company. We're based in East London, they're based in South London, but it's all about family and unity, so feel free to check them out as well. Byron, power move was can I just jump out and give him the ball?